1 on 3, 1 on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Shut up, man. You already know.
All right, man. Have some fun.
Jets on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome into Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. There is Zach Wilson entering MetLife Stadium. Robert Saleh said on Friday, this whole season has been filled with adversity. Why not finish it with a little bit more? Today, right there at MetLife Stadium, the 3-12 New York Jets will line up at MetLife against the 2-12 Jacksonville Jaguars. 16 Jets in COVID protocols as we bring in Eric Coleman inside the MGM studios. Not just players, 16 Jets in COVID protocols. Head coach Robert Saleh is out of this ball game. That means Ron Middleton will coach the New York Jets. In fact, quarterbacks coach, the Jets quarterbacks coach is out as well. So, and finally, Bob Wischusen, the legendary voice of the New York Jets, he's also in COVID protocols. Eric, I've never seen anything like this in my entire career.
Well, I mean, this is one for the ages. You know, everyone has to adjust. Everyone has to, be flexible and really next man up and next team up really right now with how many people are out for each team. I mean, you look at this COVID list. It's unbelievable. I mean, all these guys you're anticipating them coming in and making contributions to the team, and then all of a sudden they're out in COVID. I don't know how you adjust.
All right, let's keep that up on the screen, but bring in Anthony back. Anthony, 16 Jets in COVID protocols. Robert Saleh will be out of this game. That means your former position coach, Ron Middleton, steps into the spotlight after years in the shadows. What can you tell us about Coach Middleton?
Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas. Listen, totally excited for Ron. You look at coaches around the NFL that deserve these kind of opportunities, and he's one of the top of the list guys. Ron was my tight end coach with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A coach that not only demanded respect, but knew how to motivate players in the right way. Was a great teacher of the game. Simply because of the fact that he was a great listener as a coach. He drew in a lot of information, but he also played the game at the highest level as a tight end. He played with the Hogs when the old Washington teams made their runs in the 80s and the late 90s. And, he's a guy that, just really respected. And I think the players really respect him. He's got a great persona across the NFL, and he's going to do a great job. This is an opportunity in a moment he'll be ready for. It won't be too big for him. And I'm looking forward to him being on the sidelines and putting his little touch to it, helping this football team get a big win.
Eric, as we watch Zach Wilson get warmed up in preparation of the game with the Jaguars, as a player, what are you thinking right now? How much does that impact you? Because remember, the Jets have been in virtual meetings for a couple weeks now. Robert Saleh in his first year heading up the team. But on the sideline today, it is Coach Middleton.
Absolutely, I think you're excited, as players. It's something different, something new. Yes, you love having Coach Saleh on the sideline. Yes, you love playing with your teammates. But, when things get mixed up, you just kind of have to put it together and put your best foot forward. So I think these players are used to dealing with the adversity. It's been 2 years of COVID protocols and different adjustments that they've had to make. And so I think they're ready to just go out there, get this game going, hear the crowd from MetLife, and just celebrate Christmas.
Anthony, this is something else. I just tweeted that your list of who's available is not as long as those out, whether you're talking about the coaching staff or the players. I did say that with some kind of sarcasm. There is Trevor Lawrence getting warmed up and Zach Wilson. They're both going to face each other for the first time in their respective careers. But this is uncharted territory right now.
Yeah, I actually think it's incredibly difficult, to be quite honest with you, for players, especially teams that have young, developing players, players that have guys on the field that do not have a lot of reps, to go out there and not have practice and not be able to do certain things at, close to game speed because they don't have the reps or the experience to see things happen. Look at the safety position today, one that's, hit with injury and COVID. I mean, it's going to be difficult for players to step in and jump into that speed of the game. There's definitely difficulties that players have been able to manage, and I give them a lot of credit over the last couple years with this COVID situation. But when you talk about teams that have young talent or inexperienced talent, it's hard to jump in there, when you're just, maybe in your own yard doing some things or working out on your own or in meetings, virtually, where it gets difficult as well. So, I think that, those things will show up today for both teams. I think that, when you watch how it'll go down, I think it'll come down to which coaching staff has done the best job over the course of the year to get the whole team prepared, and how these guys have listened and taken in the information so that they're ready for their opportunity to shine.
Fans, now is your chance to have your voice heard. Vote right now, and you can be part of Pregame Central. Quincy Williams, a waiver claim fine, will reach 100 tackles on the season versus his former team today. That, of course, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is 93 tackles, a bright spot so far this year for the 3-11 New York Jets.
Oh, yeah. I love the way Quincy Williams approaches the game. I mean, he's a missile out there. He's running sideline to sideline. He does a great job. He's physical at the point of attack and really just brings a lot of energy to the defense. It'll be exciting to see him reach that 100 tackle mark against his former team, here playing with the Jets.
Anthony, the Jets are favored for the first time in 27 games.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody out in Vegas can even put these numbers on games. But I'll be honest with you, they're pretty close even throughout COVID, which is pretty remarkable. I don't know how much that means. I think that it just shows me, anything under 3 means it's a coin flip, right? So it's going to come down to 2 very, young quarterbacks that a lot of people have high expectations for. How will they manage the game with missing players and the circumstances around them and the pressures to, really stand up and be the franchise quarterbacks that every person wants them to be. It's been an up and down road for both guys, whether it be through injuries or, coaching changes or whatever that may be. The adversities have been there for both. I think today's a day where if you can go out there and just play loose, relax, and just let it rip, man, I think that's the biggest thing sometimes. You start thinking about other stuff. It's more about, what you can or cannot control. And I think both of them, in particular for Zach Wilson, just goes out there, let it rip, trust his reads, what he's been coached. And I think he can go out there and have a big game.
Hey, props to the guys and the ladies at the stadium. They are crushing the split screen right now. This is the only place you can find the number 1 overall pick in last April's draft and the number 2 overall pick in last April's draft. Warm up before the Jets-Jaguars game this afternoon. Trevor Lawrence so far this season, 2-12 as a starter, passing for more than 210 yards per game, 9 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Zach Wilson, 2-8 as a starter, a little bit more than 191 yards a game, 6 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Lawrence has faced all kinds of adversity, fellas. Travis Etienne, DJ Chark, out in the preseason. Laviska Shenault is not playing today for the Jaguars. And how about what Zach Wilson faces today? We know Corey Davis down. We know Elijah Moore down. Jamison Crowder doubtful.
That was a tough blow. Jamison Crowder is that security blanket for Zach. He keeps the chains moving. Just a great overall veteran who plays the game the right way. You can trust him. These quarterbacks are going through a lot. Having to adjust to new receivers out there, new offensive linemen. I feel for these players right now. But I know at the same time, once that whistle blows and they get going, it's not going to matter who's out there.
Anthony, this is the 4th time ever where a number 1 pick is going to be playing a number 2 pick starting quarterbacks in their rookie seasons. We see it right there. Advantage number 2, Rick Meyer over Drew Bledsoe, Marcus Mariota over Jameis Winston. But listen, those numbers really don't matter. There is some historical significance here. Let's talk about Lawrence a little bit, AB. Man, he has faced some kind of adversity down there in Jacksonville. When you talk about organizational stability, I say advantage Jets right now. The Urban Meyer experiment did not work. Darrell Bevell is the interim coach. And in fact, former Jets offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is going to be calling plays for the Jags today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Here's a young player that really has defined so much in his career. The kid, I think, lost 2 games since high school prior to coming into the league, has a squeaky clean record, an amazing young human being, and he gets put in an organization that, quite frankly, you're right, was not given him the best circumstances to win as far as the environment around him. And that's unfortunate for him, and it's really unfortunate for the organization. But, players can learn from those things. Players can get better and rise up from those things. He has been struggling, though. He's, trying to find a way to get the ball in the end zone. Hasn't thrown many touchdowns the last several weeks. You start forcing things as a young quarterback. You want to take on the game and try to make things happen and change the complexion of the game on one throw. And sometimes that gets you in trouble. So, both of these guys obviously have a tremendous opportunity, again, to show off the skill set that everybody saw in them in college. I think the one thing that's common, as many players as both of these quarterbacks are missing, they will have incredibly talented backs, in my opinion, behind them, with Robinson for the Jaguars and, of course, Michael Carter for the Jets. So it alleviates a little bit of that pressure if they can get some of that running game going. But, both of these guys obviously have a unique opportunity to go out there and right the wrongs of some of the ups and downs of this league that have been created in front of them.
You almost feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, the adversity that he's faced in year one. I know all these guys go through adversity, but you couldn't ask for more. Right. To be honest, here, Eric, when you're talking about him coming out of Clemson, all the excitement down there in Jacksonville going into the season, then Urban Meyer, the coaching regime, lasts just a few games, and here you go. He's dealing with a lot of injuries. The instability's got to be awfully difficult for a young player.
Yeah, but that's kind of the advantage of being young, is sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You're just going out there playing ball, and I think that's kind of what Trevor Lawrence is doing right now. Yes, there was a lot of distractions with the coach, and there's a lot of media distractions and injuries and things, but you can only control what's in front of you. So I think he's one of those guys that has a good head on his shoulder. And, he knows going into the offseason, probably going to have a new coordinator, a new offense to learn. But he knows the facility. He's getting used to things, and things could be worse. So I think it's a good thing that they moved on so quickly so he can continue to grow and start to thrive a little bit.
Yeah, Schottenheimer calling plays for the Jags today. Everything comes full circle. Uber Eats, the official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL, is delivering game day deals all season. Order now with your Uber Eats app. Of course, this is the holiday season. I hope everyone who was celebrating Christmas had a great day. Yesterday is December 26th. Since it is a 17-game season, we have 3 games remaining for the 3-11 Jets. They'll get a crack at the 2-12 Jaguars today. Let's start with you. I'm going to ask you to put your elf hat on. Who is going to get coal in their stocking this Sunday?
Well, I just got done bigging them up, but I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jets' defensive line is going to create some pressure. I think they're going to get after him today, make things uncomfortable for him. And as many players that they have missing, the Jets do as well. But I think the Jets have the advantage, so hopefully they'll make things make them very difficult for the young quarterback.
All right, this one is for Santa Becht. Who is going to have the best present under the tree?
Yeah, well, if you're going to give presents away, why not to the interim head coach, my guy, Ron Middleton? I really wish him the best in this game. I think that, when you get this kind of role as a coach, and even though it's for one game and for, 3.5 hours, you want to put your stamp on what you can bring in your value, but you can't overdo it. There's a happy medium. You're really just stepping in and managing things. And, look, managing the game is not easy because there's so many things, the ebb and flow, the timing and all those things. But those experiences that he's had through his career, I have a supreme confidence that, he's got an ability to shine. So I hope that he's able to get a gift today in this football game and get himself a victory for this team and this organization.
Yeah, let's hope Ron Middleton gets a game ball after this one. You're watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Eric Coleman, I wanted to ask you here real quickly. We just had a split screen of Trevor Lawrence and Dan Feeney. Dan Feeney getting the start at the guard position today. The Jets are ravaged by COVID there. Which hair is more impressive?
Ooh, that's a good one right there. You know, Trevor Lawrence has the flowing golden locks.
The Goldilocks.
But I do like the mullet. I like the hair hanging out the back, the curls hanging out the back of the helmet. I'm going to go with our guy in this one.
So Feeney gets the start. Let's see if the Jets start mauling people with their run game. You would anticipate that Trevor Lawrence is going to be handing off a lot today to James Robinson. My holiday gift, which offensive lineman will lead Zach Wilson's sleigh today? I'm going Connor McGovern, guys. You got to go to the center position. McGovern has started 56 straight games at the position, and Pro Football Focus ranks Connor McGovern 7th among centers with at least 500 snaps this season. There is movement at guard for the Jets. You got the mullet there, Dan Feeney. No AVT, no LDT. That means no Elijah Vera Tucker, no Laurent Duvernay Tardif for the Jets. So it is Feeney and Greg Van Roten. But the person leading the sleigh for Zach Wilson, it's the guy who's in there each and every week and who has been under the radar this season for the Jets for me. That is center Connor McGovern. You are watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Eric Allen, Eric Coleman inside the BetMGM studio. We're joined as always by Anthony Beck. Let's get to our matchups to watch and start with Anthony Beck. Anthony, everything is fluid in today's COVID world. You were going to go with Michael Carter versus Miles Jack. The guys in the back, they found another linebacker for you.
Yeah, well, you know, Damian Wilson, he's the second leading tackler on the football team. He's made a few splash plays. He's actually had quite a few TFLs in the backfield this year. Clearly, he knows he's going to have to step up his role. And, you know, Michael Carter getting another game under his belt after coming off the IR a few weeks ago. So I'm excited for Michael Carter. He's one of the more exciting, electric running backs. Every time I continue to watch this young man, he always gets through the line of scrimmage and never gets knocked down on the first hit. So those traits are special. Not a lot of backs have that. You can count on one hand that do. So if he can continue that trend, be a positive force for this football team, I think he's got a great ability to have a big game. But that is a key matchup in this football game.
Yeah, Jack out of the lineup for the Jaguars. 87 tackles this season, 46 solo. He's a guy who's got 475 career tackles. You talk about Michael Carter. He remains the leading rusher on this team with 448 yards. He also, AB, has 4 rush touchdowns, the first Jets rookie to do so since Leon Washington, an assistant on Robert Saleh's staff this season. Where are you going in the Jets secondary?
So I was going to go Bryce Hall versus Laviska Shenault, but
an audible there.
Yep, you had to call it audible and pull up Marvin Jones to step up. But Marvin Jones, 10-year veteran, 624 yards receiving this year, 56 catches. He's a big playmaker for Trevor Lawrence. They're going to lean heavily on him. I'm looking for I'm looking for Bryce Hall to put hands on him early at the line of scrimmage, control him, make some knock some balls down, possibly intercept a few and shut down Marvin Jones.
Hall, a 5th-round pick in 2020, leads the Jets with 13 PDs, the 3rd most among his draft class. That's a big miss for the Jaguars not having Shenault. Here's a guy who's got 114 catches in 28 career games, but I liked your little movement there at the line of scrimmage going with Marvin Jones. I'm going to go with former Jaguar linebacker Quincy Williams versus James Robinson. Williams was a waiver claim from Jacksonville. He had 15 tackles versus the Dolphins. He leads the Jets in tackles for loss with 9, and he's tied for the team lead with Ashton Davis and forced fumbles with 3. He told me earlier this week, all I want for Christmas is 100 tackles. I think he's going to get there today. Brian Schottenheimer, he used to run the ground and pound here with the Jets. I think he's going to try to turn Robinson loose. He's a guy who averages 4.7 yards a carry this season. He's got 8 touchdowns on the ground. He'll put the ball on the ground, though. Hello! Quincy Williams, he's going to be looking to get that ball out.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be flying, doing that punch, trying to get some balls out, causing havoc wherever he goes. The combination of him and C.J. Mosley has been fantastic this year. These guys are all over the field making every tackle, so look forward to a lot of that tonight.
All right. For those of you who are going to jump on the radio here momentarily, This is not part of the programming, but I'm going to keep that up there for a second. Dan Graza is calling play-by-play today. Bob Wischusen will miss his first game since taking over play-by-play duties. We're thinking of Shoes. He's dealing with COVID right now. We can't wait to have him back in the booth. But Graza has the call on ESPN New York Radio today. That means Ethan Greenberg, our own Greens, is hosting the pregame show on ESPN Radio, and Anthony Becht is a part of that as well. Quincy Williams exchanging pleasantries with a number of his friends there. Of course, a third-round pick of the Jaguars a couple years ago. What a waiver find by Joe Douglas. After the game, we'll be back here for Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. SNY will have you covered all day with their pre- and post-game shows. But coming up next on CBS 2 here in New York is Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. Here is a previously recorded interview when I had a chance to talk to the Jets head coach prior to his positive COVID test.
Can you elaborate on the fact where you said, I want to win these final 3 games, but the main thing has to be the main thing?
So winning will always be first and foremost, period. But you know, the question that was presented to me was whether or not that makes a difference in the overall scope of what we're trying to get as an organization. And keeping the main thing is the development of the quarterback, the development of the offense, the development of the defense and the young defensive backs, and really continuing to establish this vision that we have on the direction that we need to go this offseason to make sure that what we're feeling and the progress we're making is real and we can capitalize on it. And I feel like despite what happened in the second half of the Miami game, I felt there was a lot of strides that were made, and we're going to get another opportunity against a Jacksonville team that's in the same boat we are. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out where they need to get to also, and so they're still trying to put on good tape and audition for 2022. And then you've got a Tampa team that's playoff ready, and you've got a Buffalo team that's getting ready to go into playoffs. So there's a lot of challenges ahead, and there's a lot of things that we can learn off of. And yes, winning is always first and foremost, but the main thing is progress and making sure that the quarterback, the offense, and all the young guys that we have on defense are developing in a way that will propel them into 2022.
You are watching a Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. There's Zach Wilson. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Zach Wilson today. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Trevor Lawrence today. Of course, the number 1 and number 2 overall selections in last April's draft. Just looking back at that interview, man, things can change quickly in this world with this virus. That was Tuesday. Robert Saleh was feeling quite good on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, he had symptoms and he tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, I mean, that's how this thing goes. You know, it works quick and fast. And hopefully Coach Saleh can get back healthy and get back on the sidelines, and as well as all the players that are out. Because, you know, you hate to see players work this hard to prepare and to get to this point of the season and then have to miss games because of viruses. But, you know, keep everybody healthy. Everybody
yeah, keep everybody in your thoughts, because
Oh, yeah.
this virus can impact people totally differently.
Absolutely.
Some people might have the vaccine and a booster and they walk right through it and they feel great. Mm-hmm. Other people, it can bring you to your knees.
Yeah, it's a very strange, and it's crazy how it's affecting everyone. So yeah, thoughts and prayers to everyone who has it and who's had family members and friends with it, and,
Yep.
and hopefully we can get all back healthy and get back to normal living.
No doubt. And I'm thinking about Saleh and his entire family. In fact, he had 4 of his kids who tested positive for COVID, so he probably got it from one of them. Unfortunately, they weren't dealing with any symptoms, but Ron Middleton will be the Jets head coach today. Get those flip cards out. There's the Jets kicker, Eddie Pinheiro. He had a big game the last time at MetLife Stadium, connecting on 3 field goals. But as your old coach used to say, fellas, end every drive with a kick. And in fact, Zach Wilson, 81 straight throws without an interception. Here's the all-in or not today records. They're throwing that leaderboard up right now. It's close. That race at the top has suddenly got very close. Oh.
Ooh.
Myself and Eric Coleman with a 1-game lead.
You got to get above 500 today.
I'll tell you what. Is Ethan Greenberg really 4-10?
Yeah.
Seems like just yesterday he was 0-4. Now he's 4 4-10 on the year. And speaking of Ethan Greenberg, let's get to his all in or not today right now.
Thanks, EA. I know you guys are making fun of me. I'm looking at you, Anthony Becht. All right, I'm trying to get 3 more wins, end the season strong. Today's a great opportunity for me just to get 1 win, 1 week at a time, all right? But I'm going not today on this one. The Jaguars haven't scored more than 23 points per game. I know the Jets offense was clicking at a higher level last week than prior weeks, but I'm feeling a not today on this one, guys.
You always bring the levity to the game. We love that. We appreciate it. Good luck today. Ethan's all-in or not today was the Jets and the Jaguars will combine for more than 42 points. Ethan suddenly surging Greenberg says not today. Eric, let's move over to you. The Jets will play a turnover-free game versus the Jaguars.
I'm going all in on this one. You know, I think that you're starting to value the football a little more. And when you're in December, you know, during this time of year, ball security is the most important thing. You know, you see a lot of fumbles, you see a lot of drop balls, missed tackles. These are things that the Jets are going to have to fine-tune and stay locked in on. I think they go turnover-free today and come out with the victory.
Jacksonville will not have Josh Allen coming off the edge. We just talked about Miles Jack. He's not in the lineup. And they rank dead last in the NFL with 7 takeaways. Ouch. Anthony, how about you? Let's get back to the top storyline other than COVID today. Of course, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence. Zach Wilson will have more passing yards than Trevor Lawrence. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm all in on this one. I think Zach Wilson's going to have an opportunity to have a big day today. I know there's some flux in the receivers and whatnot, but getting yourself out there, understanding the offense another week, and just learning from what you've done in the past. You know, at some point he is going to break off a really good, consistent game, high completion percentage. All of those things I think can factor in versus a team that's a little decimated right now and playing not really good football in Jacksonville. So looking forward to seeing him play, and I think I'm an all in on that one.
Love it. And we previously let the fans vote here. We always want to make that part of Pregame Central. Overwhelmingly, they say Quincy Williams, the older brother of Quinnen Williams, will reach 100 tackles for the first time in his career today. 89% vote yes on that. I totally agree. This is a great story this year for the New York Jets. A revelation he has been playing next to C.J. Mosley. For me, my all-in or not today, the Jets will hold the Jaguars to under 103 yards rushing. Where do we come up with 103? That's what the Jaguars average on the season. I think this is a huge game for both Mosley and Quincy Williams on the inside. I think they're going to negate James Robinson. The Jets get a lead, and they're going to win their 4th game of the season today. That's just my feel. Final thoughts from you, E, before we get to inactives, and then I'll get to AB.
Well, it's a big opportunity for the Jets. You know, you're playing a team that, you're favored going into the game. Go out there and execute, have a great game plan. There's some adversity. Everyone's facing adversity right now. So it's about who can adjust, who can go in and play well and get to the game. And I think the Jets will have a great day all around on all 3 phases of the game.
How about you, Anthony?
You know, I watched a movie last night with my family about a quarterback that nobody thought could do anything, and he got his chance. It was Kurt Warner's American Underdog. Well, guess what? There's some players playing this game today that did not expect to be on NFL football fields this soon, and they're going to get an opportunity to shine. I'm looking forward to those Jet players that are going to be out there, in particular on the back end as a safety position, and some players that are going to get a chance, whether it's special teams or offense. So, again, it's tough to get chances in the league. And because of COVID, it's opened the door for a lot of those things. So players are getting those opportunities, and I wish them the best today. I look forward to watching them.
We look forward to talking to you later. Kai Nakua and Will Parks added this week to the Jets roster. This could be a game where we see a lot of Jason Pinnock, a rookie out of Pittsburgh, drafted to play quarterback. He can play a lot of safety today.
Yeah, I mean, he's very athletic. He can play the nickel. He can play corner and as well as safety. So a lot's going to be on his shoulders today. Hopefully, like Anthony said, he takes advantage of this opportunity. This is the big time to shine when the lights are on and when it counts.
Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence have certainly endured a roller coaster year. I think better days are ahead for both of these guys. They've showed flashes throughout their rookie years. And yes, they've experienced some down times as well. That is part of life in the National Football League. Inactives, it's not a long list today. LaMichael P. Ryan, Austin Walter, Elijah Riley, who thank God is feeling better after going down with that nasty concussion last week. Unfortunately, Jamison Crowder is the final inactive today. Wilson without his top 3 targets at receiver. It's the Jets. It's the Jaguars. We will be back for Jets Overtime after the game. Enjoy the afternoon. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.